So I'm going to talk about how these emails work from sent from Gmail or any email from actually sent from Pipefy. Sorry, how these emails sent from Pipefy are going to make their way into Google Calendar as events. So the way this is set up is Pipefy. We use Pipefy to send an email to your Zapier email address. Your Zapier account has an email address. We can send emails into your Zapier account, and then your Zapier account takes that email, it passes the information within the email, and it creates a Google Calendar event for you. So we're going to use this so that your team can record dates of hearing for written notices to the board and dates of hearing for arbitration within the Google Calendar once they learn what those dates are. So we've got a card hearing waiting for date of hearing written notice to the board. The card is John Doe. Forget what's written on the front of the card. Let's just uncheck this and set this back to blank as if we're doing this for the first time. So the card moves into this phase, and at this point, the next step is to wait for the date of hearing to come back. Once your team learns what the date of hearing is, you come into the card, check the box to say that the date of hearing has been set, and then you're going to set your date. We're going to choose August 15th. So we've recorded that date, but we want this date in the calendar. So to do that, we're going to, first of all, just go to comments. This is where I've saved your Zapier email address. You don't want to save it in here because once this card disappears, it's not going to be here. But just for my sake, I've saved it there for the moment. I'm going to put this address into Upwork for you, and you make a decision where you save this email address. You probably want to put it in the instructions you have under the phase, listed in each phase. You probably want to put it in there. This is your Zapier Mail email address. We're going to email that email address. To do that, I'm going to go up to email in the right corner here. And down in the bottom right corner, I'm going to click new email. And I'm going to paste that email address into the to field. The from field is you as the only user of the Pipefy account. If I click on this, you can add a custom email address if you want to. That requires some configuration, and for these purposes of what you're doing, it's not necessary to have different from email addresses. These are just going to be sent to Zapier. It doesn't matter who sends them. So we have to put a subject. It won't let us send the email without one. I'm just going to call it the grievance board hearing date. You can put whatever you want as long as you put something. Your process should have it listed out what they put as a subject. Zapier doesn't pay any attention to the subject line, at least that's the way we've set it up right now. It's going to pay attention to the body of the email. So what we want to do is kind of write out in regular kind of like regular a regular way exactly what's going on with this event. And then what happens is Google Calendar can actually parse this information and create an event from it. It understands what we're trying to tell it. So what we're going to do is, and you have to come up with your process on the particulars of your process on how you want your team to write out these events so that they're consistent and what you want to put in them. You need to decide that. But I'm going to put grievance, board, hearing, date for John Doe set to August 15th, 2019 at, I'm just going to put 10 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. So what we've done here is we've created a statement, and the statement is basically we've got an event, which is the grievance board hearing date for John Doe, and then we've told Google Calendar in the second half of the statement when that event needs to be created in the calendar. So it's been set to August the 15th, 2019 at 10 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. It's probably important that you put what time zone it is because then that, especially if you've got different time zones in play, I don't know whether you do with your particular needs, but if you have different time zones, you want to make sure that that's understood by Google because it will adjust the date in your calendar based on the time zone you have selected for your calendar. So if this was 10 a.m. Pacific Standard Time that they were going to do the event, then it would show up in your calendar as 1 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. So make sure you stipulate the time zone. So we put that statement in, and this is all that Google needs to do needs to know in order to create your calendar event. So I'm just going to click send here. And that email's been sent. By the way, the record of it is recorded here under emails in the card, so you can always see if an email was sent out and when it was sent out and what the email said. So it's recorded here for posterity for you to check back on. So I'm just going to click out of here. And it's up to you now to check to see if the particular event was created in the calendar for August the 15th. So you can decide on the format of the email, you can decide the wording in the email, what the event's described as, what information you want to see within the event. But basically, it's a statement of what the event is, followed by when is the event, that Google will understand. So sticking with that format will allow us to be successful. And obviously, you can test it by just sending emails out of here towards your Google Calendar and see what comes out the other end as to what it understands and what works for you. So anyway, check your Google Calendar and make sure that grievance date for hearing date for John Doe has been recorded for August the 15th. And we should be good.